Hey there, folks. Today I'm going to talk about being alone and how it can be a surprisingly complicated concept. Because the thing is, I've felt very alone even when I have friends. So, I've been lonely not entirely because of the lack of people. There's something else, and it's the fact that I'm so withdrawn. You can't withdraw from reality so hard that you live your entire life through screens and yet stay connected to the people around you. So it's like there's this vast gulf between me and other people. This seemingly endless track of what I call midnight tundra. Poetically capture the whole cold darkness of it all. Yeah, that's depressing. Anyway, and I don't really know how to come back from that. All I can do is keep trying to kind of thaw myself out. Keep trying to metaphorically turn my face to the sun. But I get the feeling that's not going to be enough. I feel like it's going to be something big that has to happen in order for me to really get my recovery started. In many ways, I feel like I've been approaching the edge of the diving board for what seems like an endless amount of time, and I'm doing absolutely everything besides actually jumping in. I know that at some point I'm going to have to take a leap of faith. I'm going to have to develop faith when I've never had it before. My whole life I have lived in the world of the real, the logical, the solid, the verifiable, etc., etc. And I have realized that it is inadequate. That if you take keeping it real too seriously, you rob your mind of its ability to compensate for damage and things like that via faith. We need that. We need some ability for our minds to provide themselves with the emotional inputs we're not getting. That is what keeps someone out of the hellish depths of depression. I'm convinced of this. And that's, if any religious person wants to take that to mean, so you're saying that the only cure for depression is faith, I wouldn't really disagree. At least my depression. In my whole life, I feel like, not my whole life, but for a lot of my life, I simply learned to bypass the need for trust. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Instead of trusting people, in other words, having faith in people, I analyze them. I figure out what makes them tick. I figure out whether I can trust them or not based on my high-powered analytical mind combined with my very strong empathic nature, and I figure people out. And then I know if I can trust them or not. There's no faith involved. There's no point where you can say, okay, this person is okay, and now I won't think about it anymore. It's what's called in mental health circles a kind of hypervigilance. I don't feel like there's ever a point where even my 3 incredibly good friends, where I could ever completely let my guard down and relax. And these are the people I literally trust the most in the world. I haven't had a good track record with people, especially in my childhood. So I became withdrawn pathologically. And part of that was just kind of leaving people behind in a way. When you spend most of your formative years in high school completely alone, no friends, no peer group, no dates, no nothing, just school and TV, you drift further and further away from the rest of humanity, and you end up, with all that midnight tundra. And my conscious healthy mind, pardon me, my conscious healthy mind knows that what I need to do is, reduce the distance. I need to let my cold and lonely little planet drift closer to the sun so that I can live a warmer, brighter life. But so far I've not been able to bypass the part of me that insists that if I get closer, I'll die. I'll, I guess, melt. And I know that's not true. I tried telling that to that scared little animal inside me. He's the one calling the shots. I guess that's all from me for today, folks. I will talk to you nice people again tomorrow. Bye-bye.